Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Angela Clark. This is Clark Fine Art. And today we are diving into the largest art supply haul this studio has ever seen. I would go so far as to say this is a hoard. This is an art supply hoard. No one needs this many art supplies. And please do not think that I ordered all of these supplies at once. I did not. As you know, if you've been following my channel, I had to take some time off. And in the interim, these supplies kept filtering in, and I just kept putting them into this box and letting them pile up because I would not allow myself to touch them until I showed them to you first, which was a great motivator to get my butt back to work. So, this is going to take a little bit. Go grab a cup of coffee. Let's dive into this. So today we are going to be looking at all the supplies that I have had come in the last 3 to 4 months. And not all of them are professional grade products. Some of them are perfect for students, beginners, hobbyists. I tried to take a look at a wide variety of products to use on my channel because you know what? We're all in different places on our journey. So regardless of where you are on your journey, I hope to find quality products to share with you that you will be happy to use and find useful. I mean, some products, if our art supplies are not of a good enough quality, it can make it miserable to attempt to create any sort of art with it. And if you agree with that, smash that like button because I definitely think that our supplies matter. Let's take a look at some of the things that I have accumulated. Let's dive into this box. Because of a supply that my father had given me, and my father was an engineer, and he used this, and this is heavy, guys. This is metal, and it is a lead sharpener, and he gave me this old, and the only thing you can actually, I could only make out on it was right here, that little mark says Italy. I don't know if that's going to want to focus for you guys or not, but anyways, it says Italy with an oval circle around it. I started my little seahorse eraser, which I don't use. He just hangs out there and keeps me company. Anyhow, it says Italy. I searched for this, and apparently this is an old Koh-i-Noor lead holder. And they still make lead holders that look like this today. And he had given me, this is one of the things that I ordered in my haul, but he had given me this one to go with this. And these were an H lead, and it was turquoise eagle drawing leads, barrel. Well, if any of you know the history, you know who made these. This turquoise eagle barrel, these were old the old Prismacolor pencils had the same branding on their pencils. So he had given me this, which I thought, well, that's great because I have the H, which is what was originally in here, and okay for some sketching. But what if I want an array of lead? So without wanting to have to swap out the lead all the time, I went searching for lead holders. What a rabbit hole that was. I wanted the different varieties of hardnesses, and I wanted a holder to hold each of them because I didn't want to take one out, and some of them are marked on that lead, but good luck reading that. So I wanted to order the leads so that I could mark the pencil, and you see here, I just took a piece of washi tape, marked that it's HB lead that's in this pencil, and now each of my pencils has a different one. And I love the feature because you see the jaws. The jaws here will open up. It allows that lead to come out and I can sharpen it. And of course, you put this in here and you would, I don't use this actually to sharpen my pencils, but you would put this in here and you would turn it and turn it and turn it, and that would refine the point on your pencil. So I loved receiving it. And I can't even explain to you how heavy this is. This is all cast, I don't know if it's cast iron, cast aluminum, it's cast metal. And it is very, very heavy. Somewhere there was the box that this actually came in. I'll have to do another video on that, because if you don't know, if you're following me on social media, I have shared some of my antique art supplies that I have come across. I love finding them. I love collecting them. And I'll have to do a video just on that. Drop me a comment below. Do you collect antique art supplies too? And if so, what kind of things are in your collection? So to get the holders for each, I found these. This is what I decided to go with. There's my Tombow Mono Zero. If you do not have one of these erasers, I definitely recommend getting one. These are amazing. I will link to everything that I'm showing you today in the description below. So here are the Nik Pro lead holders. Now they have, you can see here, they have little windows where you can turn them. These ones happen to be down by where you would hold on the barrel. And you can turn them, but they don't have all the full range. They just have a limited range. So I decided I would just take the washi tape and go ahead and pop those on them. And it was a lot easier for me to see. And if I happen to move this by accident, it wouldn't matter because I had those set. So these by Nik Pro, they come in a multi-pack. You get these are the 3 colors. I believe there were 6 in the package. And they have in the ends, these are actually little sharpeners for those leads. I haven't tried those sharpeners yet. I prefer to use this comb sharpener. It is I believe it's a Cub, C-U-B, or Cube by Comb. And you see here, you can do different size pencils, but this guy right here sharpens this lead right here perfectly. So you just make that elongated, probably not that long. You place that in there. Yeah, no, I need to go a little longer. So I try not to break my lead here. And on these, I definitely turn the pencil, not the sharpener, just because I'm afraid if I turn the sharpener, I would actually break my lead. So it does. If I kept at that and applied with just slightly more pressure, it would sharpen that to a very long, very fine point. So that was how I decided to do all of these. And then this is another version that I ordered from Nik Pro because I was looking for the same type of jaw that I had with the Koh-i-Noor that my dad had given me with the clutch jaws. This one, and you can see here, this lead is actually, that was sharpened with that sharpener. It gets quite sharp. I definitely recommend that little sharpener. So I like the clutch jaws of these. And this one by Nik Pro, and again, there is a little hole in there. You can sharpen, they say you can sharpen leads. I have not tried it. I'm sure all of those shavings would fall here. Definitely would want to do it over a container. But these had the little that you could turn up here. And yeah, you can't see it and I couldn't read it. So again, I just marked them. So I have the range from 8H to 8B in lead. So all of these pencils, to include the one my dad gave me, I can hold all the different leads because I like a mechanical pencil. If we're sitting there and we're drawing, and I hate to have to stop and sharpen my pencil. And so anyhow, I got those holders. So that was one of the first, well, that was one of the supplies. I then, of course, went down the rabbit hole of, wait, where am I going to find all these leads? I couldn't find this one. I wanted to find the most economical varieties for you, and Koh-i-Noor actually had quite a few that I got, and I really was shopping around for some of the best deals. See, 8H to 8B. So there are the leads, and guys, I don't think I'll ever have to buy lead again. So 4B, 2B, HB, B, 2H, 4H, 6H. So there's definitely, each one of these has about 12 leads in it. So you figure each one of these is 12 full graphite pencils. And these are my HB. And then they also came with this set of 12 colors. And this one is by Nick Pro. These came with one of the pencils. So the red ones are Koh-i-Noor. These ones are actually made by Nick Pro, the Nick Pro graphite refills. Some of them came with the pencils. So I just had to fill in the blanks with the Koh-i-Noor to get the full range. Do you need that many pencils? No, you don't. You absolutely don't. But again, it was a convenience factor. I just prefer to be able to draw and not have to resharpen. And of course, that's not going to go back in there the way it was. So I'll just set it aside and moving right along. I could probably do a video on each one of these by themselves. And I apologize because we are 12 minutes in and we only got to one supply. So I'm going to move this along. So speaking of graphite, not only did I want the mechanical pencils, but I wanted to be able to compare, right? How are these pencils compared to, say, the Cezanne? So Cezanne, and not all of these supplies came from Blick. I believe Cezanne is Jerry's Artorama. And again, I will put the links to everything in the description below. So the Cezanne Superior Artist Graphite Drawing Pencils. These come in a range from 2H to 12B. I could only get my mechanicals up to an 8B. I had not seen 10B or 12B, and the darkness of the 12B is really what drew it to me. So I can't wait to try these out, and I'm definitely going to do separate videos on all of these so that I can really go through the products and show them to you. So there you have it. There is from 2H to 12B. There are the pencils. The barrels feel nice and smooth. They are rounded. In my studio, that means they will roll all over the place. I do like a pencil that has flat sides on the barrel so that they don't roll away, because my house was built in 1900. Everything in my studio will roll to the other side if I'm not careful. So that's always fun, to include my chair that I sit in. Sometimes I will sit down and the next thing you know, it is like a carnival ride. And I'm headed to the door on the other side of the room. So there are the Cezanne Superior Artist Graphite Drawing Pencil. And then I went with the Faber-Castell 9000 Art Set. This is a 12 count. And this has the graphite. It goes from an, I don't know if you can see that there, but an 8B to 2H. So 2H to 8B. So not as hard as the leads in my mechanical set that I have now, which go all the way up to 8H. But the same as far as the softness going in the darker pencils going up to the 8B. So there's that. 2H here does not go as hard as the ones that I have in my other set. Do I need them? Apparently these guys don't think that they're definitely a necessity. I don't know. We're going to have to compare all of this stuff and find out. So make sure you drop me a comment below as we're going through these art supplies. What do you want to see me go over first? What do you want to see me dive deeper into first? Because there's a lot of work here, which means I have a lot of videos planned for you, and there's a lot more content coming soon. So next, I ordered, let's keep going with the whole graphite, this guy, which if you do not know what this is, it's like a big pickup. It's kind of like an eraser. If you're doing, and a lot of people, drafters will use this, it basically is full of really fine, like eraser, I'm guessing dust. It's really soft. It's really squishy. And basically, a lot of drafters will use this. When you do a drawing, you happen to smudge it, or you get, you get a little bit of that charcoal dust out where you don't want it. You can actually just take this and go over, and it will clear a lot of that up and pick some of that up. So kind of like a kneaded eraser, but yeah, completely different. I wanted to try one. So we'll be looking at that when we dive into graphite. I also ordered this guy from Tool Sand, pencil sharpener set. So this has a battery operated pencil sharpener. It is a battery operated mechanical pencil sharpener, which I have a hand crank that will adjust out and sharpen them. Of course, I have a lot of little tiny handhelds, and this guy I wanted to try because I'm always looking for a really good pencil sharpener. It also came with this, which if you don't know what this is, it is a battery operated eraser. So press this guy's gonna spin. I have one by Derwent already, which I absolutely love. So I can't wait to compare this to that. If you are not familiar with the Derwent, this is my Derwent eraser. You just press the button on the side here. It spins and you can just go right in. And I work mine to a really nice, I don't know if you can see it there, but anyways, I have a nice point on mine so that if I'm doing larger areas, erasing something, then I'll have it lay flat, but at a slight angle, so it's always working the point. So when I need fine details, I can just get right in there with the tip of that and do some fine details. So I love the Derwent sharpener. Of course, I already showed you the Tombow Mono Zero. That is another one of my favorite erasers. Excuse me. So I wanted to grab this set, had another one in there, and I thought, well, fantastic. We'll give that a try too. And it came with probably a lifetime supply of erasers. And what I thought was really interesting was that this also includes a different tip that can slide up into the eraser and hold really fine, like my Tombow Mono, the really slender. So I cannot wait to see, is this going to do some really great erasing techniques for highlights like in fur? I don't know, but again, when we get into graphite, we're going to take a look at that so that you see. Those are different erasers. And again, I probably have a lifetime supply of them. And there's this. Let's see what this is in here, if I can get it out of the box. Batteries. So we have batteries included. We have the batteries for both our mechanical, our sharpener, and I believe for the last piece that's in here. There are also, oh, wow. Okay. It also comes with 4 replacement sharpeners that I can put in here. So that's probably what the lock and unlock is for. But yeah, there we go. So I can replace the sharpener blade. So that is excellent. If I could put that back together. There you go. So there's 4 of those, plus all the batteries that we will need to get started. And then the last piece is this guy. This is a vacuum for erasing. So you erase, you have all those nasty little eraser pieces, like I have on my desk right now. I could turn this guy on if I had the batteries in it and actually go over and clean all that off, and it would suck that right off my paper, and I don't have to put my hand on it and wipe it and smear all the charcoal or, you know, pencil that I have on my paper. And it has fine little brush, little fingers, and you can see here, there's some of that eraser that was on my desk. So the fine little brushes, so it's going to keep it above your paper and get it all cleaned off, or so that's the hope. We will test these out, and again, I'm not going to try any of these out in today's video. I simply want to show you what we have, so let me know what you want to see me actually use first. I also got a bunch of sketchbooks. I see more, but I don't want to topple the whole pile over. So, hint, there are pencils in there I don't want to drop. So I got this Strathmore watercolor, basically because I'm just searching. I see a lot of artists who are doing videos, and the art that they are creating, they're actually just creating it in their sketchbook. And I thought, fantastic, right? But what sketchbook? What sketchbook do I like? I don't know. I could do a video. I did one for the art subscription box, right? Which art subscription box is right for you? If you have not seen that, I will link that right here. Which sketchbook? How do we choose? Well, you know, I guess it all depends on what we want to do in it. Are we just sketching? Then if we're just sketching, we really don't need a good quality watercolor paper, do we? A simple drawing paper would be perfectly fine. But I found this one. I went into a really cutest little shop it is the Brewster General Store. If any of you have been to Cape Cod and you've been to the town of Brewster, you have got to check out, or if you go to Cape Cod and you go to the town of Brewster, you've got to check out the Brewster General Store. So little plug there. It's amazing. Anytime we go, I love to stop in there and just see what they have. So I actually found this sketchbook there, and it was $7.99. But it is a hardcover sketchbook and 192 pages, 96 sheets, micro perforated for easy removal. It is a 5 1/4 by 8 1/2 heavyweight archival quality white paper with fine tooth. Ideal for dry media, including graphite, charcoal, Conte crayons, and pastels. So certified, acid-free, binding lies flat for ease of use. I had to have it. You ever come across those supplies that you just see it and you're like, I have to buy that. I need that in my life. Well, this was one of those. The paper is so in the binder, and it's very hard for you to see. I'm sorry because it's white. But the binding of the book and the first page are just a very cool white color. You know, when you get to the first page of actual, the artist paper, I can see the line, and that wants to stick there, but I can see that perforated line here. It is a very fine perforation, but as I bend it, yeah, I don't think that will be hard to take these pages out at all. So I think that if you did some art in this book and absolutely loved it, and I will say, well, both sides feel about the same. I don't think one side has maybe a little bit more tooth than the other side, but not much. But I think it would be very easy if you created a piece of art that you just absolutely loved and wanted to frame to take it out of here without causing any detriment to the book itself. It says it will lay flat, but as you can see, that does not. The binding will lay nice and flat. I mean, the binding here goes nice and flat, but the pages don't necessarily also go nice and flat. So I don't know. Deal breaker? I guess that is up to you. I don't know how you like to draw in your sketchbooks. I think it'll be difficult. Now, if I was taking every page out as I went, probably not. And then I'm left with just an empty book, which I guess I could create my own kind of, journal afterwards and junk journal, whatever. So this is from Peter Popper Press Incorporated. There is a website, so I will see if I can find a link to this, and I'll actually include it below. Very heavy, great quality as far as how it's made. How's the paper? Don't know. We will have to check that out in another video. So, Strathmore watercolor. I see a lot of people that use this. I see a lot of artists that have said good things about it. So again, I wanted to try it. And now this one, of course, this is a soft cover. It almost feels like a leather type texture on the outside of it. Very smooth. It's not leather, but it's very nice. It feels like it'd be very heavy duty. And of course, this is a watercolor paper. Acid-free, heavyweight, cold press, 8 by 5.5. So it's just slightly smaller in size here, but about the same width. But this will lay flat. I mean, I guess, what would I expect that from Strathmore? But that would lay nice and flat to be able to paint maybe across the whole width, or Strathmore watercolor journal. Then I'll hold my comments for that one for a moment. And then I got the Canson, the Montval watercolor. And if I mispronounced that, my apologies. So I got this one, 5.5 by 8.5, also perforated. Well, I don't know if you can see the perforations in there. There it is, right there. So again, easy to take this guy out. Now I like that this was spiral bound because I can literally just and set it flat. Or no matter how I'm working with it, it's going to definitely lay flat. I heard some really good things about the Montval watercolor paper. So I decided I was just going to get a small sketchbook to give it a try, right? Why not? This is a 5.5 by 8.5. It was reasonably priced. And I am looking for, does the paper make a difference in watercolor? So many times I hear yes. I am apt to believe what the other artists are saying. And you know what? I've yet to find that paper that makes me that magic watercolorist. No, folks, it's not just about the paper. It is also about the practice and the time we put in. So, that said, paper can make a difference, though, because you don't want to fight your supplies. If you're fighting your supplies, it makes the medium frustrating, and it makes the artwork frustrating. And when you're frustrated, you're not enjoying it, and it doesn't spark joy. And so, yeah, your supplies matter. Matter in the sense that if they're hindering your process, they're not the supplies you need to be using. You can be using the cheapest of supplies, but they work great for you and your techniques. And in that case, that's absolutely the supply that you should be using. So here I tried, I got this sketchbook by Arteza, and I believe this was like a multi-pack. And I got this one because it was black. It was black paper. And I really wanted something that I could test out a few other art supplies on to see how they react with black or on black paper. And again, this was a very inexpensive art supply that anyone can probably afford. So I want to try it out and give you my honest opinion on that. And we will check that out in another video. In addition to that size, I also ordered a couple that were this size. Black paper, this is 11 by 14. I got a lot of papers, folks. I got a lot of papers. Talking about, does the paper make a difference? Everybody raves about arch or arches, however you want to pronounce it. I believe if you're over there in the UK, it's actually just pronounced arch. A lot of us here in America say arches. Either way, you know what they're talking about when you hear it, when you see it. 100% cotton. I haven't tried it yet. As you can see by the reflection of my lights, I haven't even unwrapped a single one of them. But I cannot wait to give this a go and see and be able to tell you, does the paper make a huge difference? And am I suddenly magically a wonderful watercolor artist? I'm not holding my breath, but I really hope that the paper gives me a boost. Speaking of watercolor, I just have to give a shout out to Lindsay over at The Frugal Crafter, because Lindsay, this one is all because of you. Lindsay talked about the Pagos watercolor paint set. Oh, she got me. I had to try it. Now, I have to tell you, I didn't choose this because of the watercolors. No, I chose this because after watching her video, I will be sure to pop a link in the description below in case you missed it. I will try to go back and find this one and pop a link to that there. I got this one for the brushes, but let me show you what you get in this set. So in the set, we have, this is a Pagos dual brush pen or dual brush marker, and it has the brush end and the fine point end. So you have the brush and then really fine nib. That should, don't quote me, haven't looked it up. I believe that is a waterproof once it goes down. I don't know. I have to double check that. And of course, a gel highlight pen. Again, this is Pagos. White gel pen. And then you got this guy, which you fill this with the water, and then you have a water brush. You just squeeze and the water will come out. So you can paint on the go and not have to carry around a big messy water cup. And to clean that, there's a sponge here, and to clean that, I would just squeeze a little water, wipe it off on here, and it'd be clean, and I could go into my next color. So there's that. There's a pencil sharpener. There's an eraser. I don't think I like the texture of this eraser. Oh, and it feels okay, guys. Yeah, I just trying to get that out. It broke the corner, kind of broke on me there. Yeah, I don't like the texture. I don't like how that feels. I don't know if I will use that, or yeah, I don't know. Then there is the watercolor pad. You get 12 sheets. This is an A5 size, 300 GSM. Again, when I go over this whole thing in its own video, I will open this and we will take a closer look. I just want to show you what's in here. So here's why I got this. And there's a 2B sketching pencil. These guys, right here. Lindsay said she loved these brushes. And I thought, well, you know what? Those are some really good sizes. Perfect basic sizes to have if you're just starting with watercolor. So you get a number 12 flat, the number 14, and this, it almost looks like a cat's tongue or a filbert. But I love that it has that nice sharp point. I could see you doing big washes or even fine details with that brush. And I believe she said they hold their shape very well. So this is a number 6 round. And then you have a number 1. So these sizes are perfect. If you're starting with watercolor, you don't need a lot of brushes and you don't need a lot of different sizes. And you'll find that a lot of watercolorists, if you watch them here on YouTube, they don't use a lot of different brushes when they're working. So I thought, what a great starter set of brushes. She liked the quality. Of course, I haven't tried them out. I like to form my own opinion. And then you had the actual watercolors themselves. So, and guys, for what I paid for this, if I hated the watercolors and I didn't like the eraser or anything else, just the brushes and this palette alone were worth what I paid for it. So either way, I didn't think I could go wrong, so I went ahead and ordered it because I could refill this with any of my favorite watercolors. So there is, you have, what did I just say? 36. Apparently, I can't do 12 times 3. So 36 watercolors, and yeah, we're going to take a more in-depth look at these in another video, and if that is something that you really want to see, drop me a comment below, and we will look at those soon. What's your favorite medium? I mean, I am showing you a variety, and we're going to keep seeing a variety, because this box, we are not even close. I'm sorry, guys. I should be going much faster. Maybe I'll clip it out and just be like, and here's this, and here's this, and here's this, and not get more into depth. But I don't know. Let's just see how long this takes us. I told you, grab some coffee, get a drink. If you didn't, thought I was joking, hit that pause button, go grab some. I am super looking forward to using these. I love acrylic paint. And I just picked up this set of the Sennelier. It says Abstract Innovative Acrylic. So Abstract, I'm not sure if that's going to mean these are a more heavy body paint, which is what I generally tend to use. I do have some Liquitex. I have a whole variety of colors of Liquitex Basics, but mostly I use Golden and Liquitex Heavy Body. Those are my acrylic paints of choice, generally speaking. But I had not tried Sennelier, and this set comes with Primary Blue, Primary Red, Primary Yellow, Titanium White, and Mars Black. So I figured, okay, with my basic primary set, I should be able to mix all kinds of colors with these. So I'm going to give them a try. And so that's that. And we are definitely, I can't wait to use these. Oh, and it also came with the 8 tips. So these tips you can actually screw onto the end of the pouches. And yeah, you can put the paint on really heavy in different ways and just leave it like that and let it dry. So that'll be a fun experiment to try. Although, gosh, sometimes, do you ever feel like if I use too much, I'm going to waste it? Like, our supplies are so precious and we just want to, we just want to cling on to them, and they sit there in our studios and they look great and we didn't overuse them, but you know what? We didn't use them. So folks, try your supplies. Have fun with them. Guess what? You're going to find out what you actually like the most because you're going to be using it up, and then you're going to buy more. And you know what? That is not a wasted supply. That is a well-used supply. I don't want to be gone and have everybody have to come in here and clean out my studio and go, what the heck do we do with all this stuff that she collected? Hopefully, they will give it to some young artists or some other family members who are very artistic in nature. They will enjoy it and somebody will hit the jackpot. But anyhow, hopefully that's not happening for a very long time. Next, I got these by Mark Art. Let's take a look. As if I didn't have enough colored pencils already. And folks, by the time we're done with this is a ridiculous. We're gonna have to do a colored pencil series because I ordered a ridiculous amount of colored pencils that are in this haul. I just had to laugh because I saw this in another video. I said, I've got to order these. Yeah, I want to see, how are they, right? How are they? They claim that they are acid free. Are they light fast? All right, guys, I'm just want to put this out there. When I do my work that I am going to sell, light fastness is extremely important to me. I will not use any supply that is not light fast when I'm creating the artwork that I am going to sell. Now, that being said, I think there are plenty of products that you can enjoy out there that, while they may not be light fast, they can bring you joy in the art that you create. Not everyone is a professional artist looking to sell their art. Some people actually do art just because it sparks joy and they love creating and the process, and it is a stress reliever or a way that they can curb anxiety, or for whatever reason you are creating art. If you don't need those light fast products because you are not selling the original artwork, why not use them? If they are less expensive and easier for you to get a hold of, why not purchase them? So yes, light fastness is extremely important to me as an artist. But I do not think that just because a product is not light fast that you should not give it a try. Okay, there's my little rant. So these color pencils, they say that they are oil colored pencils, and I got these because of another supply that I just got that I want to be able to do a good comparison on, or comparison with. But I had to laugh because if you've ever seen this tin up close, and 120 colored pencils, I'm wondering if that's going to be fixed on another version of this tin. So they are Astist quality, which if you all don't know what Astists are, well, I don't know what Astists are either. So assuming artist quality. So they say they're artist quality, but yet they can't spell artist on the tin. So I don't have high hopes there, but I do have high hopes that I might enjoy these pencils. So again, don't want to open these today because I will take the time to open them in a separate video. But there's the 120 count Mark Art. Have you tried these? Do you like them? Drop me a comment. Let's bounce back to paper because apparently I'm not done with papers yet. I grabbed a visual journal. I have smaller versions of this already and I really liked it. And so it's like you have the cover here that has all the information, right? And Strathmore is who makes this. 140-pound watercolor paper, cold press. This is a cellulose paper. Thank you. This is not a cotton paper. I say thank you like you all just were yelling it out to me. So you got the cover, you got the information, but then you have this cover, which I don't know. I just like it. It's not super textured, but it looks like it has a texture on it. And then the pages, which I don't know that these are perforated. Now, these are not perforated, but I am sure that I could easily cut that off if I actually wanted to take this, a piece of art out of this journal. Who knows? Maybe I'll start filling journals, and someday when I am long and gone and super famous, of course, my family members can take the artwork out and sell it, and there you go. Make themselves some money. I also grabbed, this came in a pack of 3. There were 3 of these, again by Arteza, these little books. And if any of you watch Lindsay over at the Frugal Crafter, you know that she speaks highly of these books. She just likes these little sketchbooks. And I thought, you know what? Why not? If I'm going to do some studies and videos for, smaller pieces, why not have one of these to be able to do it in and give them a try? What's the worst that can happen? I don't like it. You know what? If I don't like it, then I will take the other 2 and, I will donate them to someone who can't afford an art supply. And it will spark joy for them. So I can't wait to give those a shot. Do you like these? Have you tried them? I'm really curious to see what you guys think of all these different supplies and what excites you the most out of this haul. So here we go. More papers. UArt 400. Oh, the controversy behind UArt right now, right? If you're not familiar, Lisa over at Lockery Fine Art, this says pH neutral. This says acid free. She's covered this paper a few times. Now, I had ordered this before she came out and did her test. So now I have it. And you know what? I'm still going to use it. I just won't use it for any artwork that I'm going to sell. But for practice, why not? Cut strips and use it to test my colors. Why not? They say that it's pH neutral and that it's acid free. However, she has a video. I'm going to try to remember. I'll be going through all of this, listening and watching again to make sure that I'm trying to link up everything I'm telling you about. She did a test on this paper with the pen that tests for if it's pH neutral or if it's actually, if it is actually acid free. And this paper failed. It failed on the front. It failed on the back. Again, the discussion I just had about light fast products. If I am going to sell this piece of artwork, I am not going to use this to create it now that I have seen that test. I can't trust that, right? I can't trust that it's not acid free. What's the big deal if it's not acid free? Glad you asked. If it's not acid free, then your paper can yellow and it can affect the color of the pigment you put on top of it over the course of time. If you're selling a piece of artwork to someone, they want that artwork to last. They want it to last for 25 years. They want it to last for the next 50 years. You know what? They want to be able to will that artwork to one of their family members, and they want it to last 50, 100 years. Okay? It is important to people who purchase and collect original artwork that you're using the right quality products. There we go. We got it out there. But I just want to create art because I enjoy creating art and I don't care how long it lasts and I'm not selling it. And this is what I can afford. Guess what, folks? I say go for it. Why wouldn't you go for it? Why not? Why not try this? I see both sides of that coin. I see some artists out there going, no, you can't use these products. Yes, you can use the product. Just educate yourself on all the details of the product. And if that is still the product that works best for you, then I encourage you to go for it. With the disclaimer that I do not encourage you to sell that work because I think that is deceptive and I do not think that that is fair to the person purchasing the art. That is just my opinion. I have mine and you are certainly entitled to yours. So I got the UArt 400 and then I got the Luxe Archival Professional Sanded Art Paper by Eliana Nicholson. Wow. Sorry, Eliana. I really butchered that there and would not come out. So this brush and pencil, brushandpencil.com. If you guys are not familiar, this is acid free. And this is 100% cotton and it is sanded. It is going to work amazing with colored pencils, pastels, and of course they have their own brand of fixative, the texture fixative, the final fixative, the titanium white, and the powder blender. If you haven't seen these products at work, I do have the complete set, and I am definitely going to be making a video on this stuff in the future, especially once you see all the other supplies that I have in this box. So much content planned for you. Are you excited? I am excited. And guys, I should have made this a 2-part series because I'm only halfway through. Trying to speed it along. Redundancy in art supplies we order. Yeah, so apparently I got this actually before I ordered the set that came with the pencil sharpener and the pencil vacuum, the eraser vacuum. I had ordered this guy, which came with a little brush. Apparently all of my eraser tips just exploded out of the bag, so I don't want to open this. I will do a video where I will open it and show you everything, but it has a brush. This is it. It says TIHOO. Just another battery operated sharpener. It was, excuse me, eraser. I ordered this one because it looked more slender. So I don't mind the Derwent one, but see, they put the brush on the side here, and holding it like the width-wise, I think it would have been a little bit more comfortable. I guess I could hold it that way and just press down against my finger here. However, because of an injury, that finger's not always nice to me. Yeah, I wanted something that might have been a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, I'm challenging Derwent. So I wanted to be able to compare some products to Derwent's product. Because, guys, if you don't know by now, I love Derwent products. However, I love them so much, I must find the one that I don't like. So I just keep ordering a bunch of Derwent products. So there's another eraser. We're going to put these through the test, and I will have a video comparing these. Next up, we have some paintbrushes. So these were actually a gift. And these are Phoenix, and they are golden nylon and white nylon. And it says for acrylics, watercolor, and tempera paints. Yeah, we're just going to give them a try and see what we think. Again, these were a gift. I did not actually purchase these. And all these products that I'm showing you today, none of them have been sent to me. I did purchase all of these with my own money. And yes, if you are adding that up, it was obscene. You haven't even seen the best of it yet. So, you know, they feel decent quality. And I am always looking for a great brush that is inexpensive, that will hold up, to be able to share with you, because that was one of my biggest things when I first got started. It was like, oh my gosh, what brushes do I need? What brushes are right? What brushes should I be using? What brushes shouldn't I be using? What brushes do I need for different techniques, right? Like magically we're going to get the one paintbrush and it will do everything and unlock all our powers and we will be the greatest artist ever. Sorry. No, that's fantasy, and it is not actually how it works. We have to practice and put in the work. But I do think that a good paintbrush, not necessarily an expensive paintbrush, but a good paintbrush can help and can make a difference. So then I got these guys. So these are the Princeton Neptunes. I got them for my watercolors. And I can honestly tell you that I had another set and I had tried them. These were back ordered. They finally came in. They've been back ordered for a very long time. They finally came in, and honestly, guys, I just have to say that for me personally, they're not my favorite. No. If when you do watercolor, you like a brush that has a lot of snap to it, it maintains its point nicely, or the edge of the brush. But if you apply pressure, it snaps right back. And the Mimic brushes, which I absolutely have loved, those have a great snap. Those have a great snap to them. They're also a lot less expensive than the Princeton Neptunes. Now, there are other brushes that I've tried that I also enjoy. And I do have a bunch of brushes that I have gotten in. I have a silver black velvet. I only have one, maybe two. I have to say that one or two, absolutely love that brush. Definitely my favorite so far. But let's talk about these Princeton Neptunes. They're a very soft, it says our thirstiest brush. Next generation synthetics. So outperforms natural squirrel, even release of color, and animal friendly. Now, guys, I am still new on my watercolor journey. So I am not casting these out yet. They could become my absolute favorite as I get more into watercolor and develop more techniques. I may love a soft brush. These do not have a lot of snap, but they do, so far, seem to hold up pretty decent. So these here, and then I have my other set, which came with the quill, the 1/2. I'm trying to look at which ones are missing. Oh, guys, there's that silver black velvet that I was talking about. That is number 6. Again, I have to order more of these. That brush, I love that brush. These are some of my Mimic brushes. These have great snap. These really hold up their shape. Oh, this guy came in that other set. And I think there was one more as well that came in that set. Yeah, this guy right there. So that was the other set that I got. So I had ordered 3 sets of 4 because it gave me such a wide variety. And so I have 3 different sizes of the flat aquarelles, which if you don't know what an aquarelle brush is, right? This hand's like an acrylic type handle, and you have this point here. So this flat part you can use for creating texture in your watercolor paintings. So I love that it had the quill. This would give me a couple sizes. Oh no, this oval wash is the same as that one. There was a different brush. This was a separate one. I'm still missing one that came in the other set because this is a 1/2 inch. This is a 1/2 inch. There were no repeated brushes in that set. So in the other set, you also got the number 8 round. So that was it. So with these 3 sets, I would have a number, for rounds, I would have a number 2, a number 4, a number 6, a number 8, a number 12. I would have the number 6 quill, the 1-inch modeler, and then for the aquarelles, which were flat, I would have a 1/4, a 1/2, and a 3/4. And then the oval wash is the 1/2 inch, which again, that looks like this one. I happen to also have another one of those individual brushes because I tried one and I loved this oval wash. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and order this set. And this seemed to be the 3 sets that gave me the most variety. And they were on sale, so I ordered them. They were back ordered forever. So I am super excited that they have finally come in. See, this is a Princeton Snap. And this is a number 8 filbert. And you see that? So you see it just, you can almost hear it. It snaps, right? It bounces right back. So what I mean when I say that these don't have that snap, look at how, you see how soft this is, right? When this is wet, it doesn't, I mean, it will bring its shape back, but it doesn't just, like all those bristles, look how, see, when I do that with this one, like, it snaps. They bounce right back. Even if I go slow, boom, like they literally just. So, softer brushes. If that's what you like, then yeah, Princeton Neptune is awesome. The quality is amazing. They are wonderful. The Princeton Snap has a lot of snap. The Mimic by Creative Mark, which again, this I have a whole set of these. These guys, gosh, do they stand up to a lot. They hold their shape. They have great snap back. And yeah, so far they're one of my favorites, and they are not necessarily one of the most expensive brushes that I own. However, I just got this guy in, and the silver black velvet. it also has a really decent snap back and for details and such. I have to order some more of these before I form a final opinion. But first go, this number 6, silver black velvet, this is my favorite, number 6. The point and the way that it holds up, amazing. So I will link, again, everything is going to be linked below. It is going to take me forever. Next up, we got brushes. We need more paint, right? Of course we do. I added to my Daniel Smith watercolor collection. My palette is slowly growing, and if you haven't seen it before, pretty sure I shared that video, and if I didn't, well, it's on my hard drive somewhere and I need to share it with you. I tried Daniel Smith watercolors. Steve Mitchell, Mind a Watercolor, pretty sure it was Steve, did a video using Moonglow, just Moonglow. I loved it. So I had to order Moonglow and a couple others that he had talked about, like the Lunar Blue. I got them in. I fell in love with Daniel Smith paints. Of course, I had to order a bunch, but I ordered different ones. So I ordered Moonglow. I ordered the Luna Blue, the Undersea Green, amazing granulation that goes on with those, the Lunar Blue, but Moonglow specifically. Moonglow and Undersea Green. They have this sort of, you see it, separation of colors that is absolutely amazing. You're painting with one color, it looks like you've used multiples, and it's the pigments. It's the pigments separating. But Lunar Blue does amazing granulation effects. But I got some others that were like, iridescent, or duochrome. It says the duochrome line. I got a few of those, which you can see they have super sparkle to them. But then my original thought was I was going to use these Daniel Smith colors in addition to my other watercolors. Well, no, I did not. Once I had them and I started to fall in love with the Daniel Smith paints, I decided, you know what? I can't afford a lot right now because I need to slowly build up my collection. So I said, what colors could I get to do like a split primary palette? Because I know if I have a split primary palette, my mixing possibilities would be endless. So you can clearly see here, I've got the primary in warms and cools there. And then I had neutral tint, sepia, and then I threw in some other colors that I thought that I would really enjoy. Sap green, phthalo blue red shade, cerulean blue, the buff titanium. Of course, I had the Chinese white, and then I added quinacridone rose. I had quinacridone red, or I ended up adding quinacridone red by accident or somehow. I wouldn't have normally just got both of those, although you can see they are slightly different. And this is carmine red. So there's quinacridone red, carmine red, quinacridone rose. So and I added the phthalo green blue shade because I wanted to be able to mix the phthalo blue green shade and the phthalo blue green shade and the phthalo green blue shade to make phthalo turquoise. So that's why I got those, just because I wanted to be able to mix and create that color. But these four, I've added Indian red, burnt sienna, geothite, brown ochre, and raw umber. And so you can see there, I can get that to focus for you guys. There are those colors. I already swatched them out. I don't think I created a video for that. I'm not sure, but I know it's not on my channel at this time. And here is my Daniel Smith palette. So I had ordered a Meeden palette. I could not decide what I wanted. I ordered like 3 different palettes, one being like a nice studio palette that would just stay and set here. And then this is the one that I got for traveling, which every time we leave to go anywhere, especially on the last few trips we've taken, I'll take it with me. And you know what? I have yet to have time to use it, but I'm going away again next week and I plan on taking it with me. And this time I plan on using it because it is literally a de-stress vacation that we absolutely, after this long few months we've had, need. So yep, taking that with me. And these here I added because I wanted to be able to create a lot more earth tones and landscapes. So that's why I added these 4 into that mix. So I also ordered these guys. So these are the Brute Fooner oily colored pencils. If you guys have not seen these before, I am pretty positive these are the square ones. Let me double check because I'm pretty sure that's why I ordered it. Was for the square ones. I am going to do a separate video on these because there is some information that I really want to share with you about Brute Fooner and the Brute Fooner company and some of their pencils. So stay tuned for that. And guys, if you're enjoying this, I'm sorry, this seems like a forever long video, and I hope that you're enjoying the unboxing and seeing all of these supplies. If you are, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see what I do with all of these supplies, click that subscribe button, turn that bell notification on, and you'll be notified as all my new videos come out. So yes, these are these square pencils. So it gives you a swatch card. You had that foam to keep them still. You see that? Look at those. Okay, guys, does this look familiar? Does this look like some other company we've seen? I have only seen these in my Faber-Castell boxes. My Albrecht Dürer, okay, spoiler alert, I have a complete set of the Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils by Faber-Castell. Those were a little bit before I got this. I don't think I've ever shown them to you in a video. So yeah, maybe I'll show them to you before we're done. Why not, right? I'm showing you a million other supplies. So I love you can pick up the trays, right? The trays are still a little flimsy, but you can pick them up and you're not trying to dig them out. So great color selection. There are, yep, 3 trays. Let me just see if I can, without spilling everything everywhere. There you go. And first, ooh, yeah. Okay, this is one of the times I wish my face was on camera and you could have just seen that reaction. They have a smell to them right out the box. Okay, so yeah. I'm sure it would dissipate. I'm sure it's just because they've been in this box, but anyhow, we're going to check these out. I keep hearing that the square ones are different from the round ones, and lots of other stories about Brute Fooner. And you know what? I want to investigate for myself because inquiring minds want to know. So yeah, we're going to go over these in more depth in another video. And if this is something that you're interested in, again, just drop me a comment, guys. I love to hear what you have to say. I do read all. All right, I'm gonna do that later. You guys don't want to hear crinkling plastic, or maybe you do. Maybe that's some quality ASMR. Yes, Clark Fine Art has gone to an ASMR channel. No, we haven't. Sorry. I definitely love to read your comments, and I appreciate you not only taking the time to watch my video, but to leave me a comment. And you know, 99% of the comments I have received have been positive, and I thank you for that, because you know what? There is enough negativity out there. We do not need to beat each other down. So, washi tapes. Yeah, obscene amount of washi tape. But you know what? You saw all the journals I got, and I want to be able to tape off some nice clean borders, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna use washi tape. Why not? It's fun to look at. It has you can get all kinds of fun patterns on it, and yeah, so I got some washi tape to be able to tape off borders in my journals and while I'm working. All right, these I got, on a whim. Mostly, I had found a really old set in like a consignment shop, which if you follow my social media post, I did post this a while back. And if you don't follow me on MeWe is where I post most of my content via social media. Sometimes on Instagram, rarely on Facebook. I'm not going to go down that conversation. But MeWe is where I post it. So if you're not a member of MeWe, go check them out. I found an old set, which was pretty sure it also Speedball, but anyhow, yeah. So when I get them, I don't just get some. No, folks, I go all in and have to try a large variety. So these are nib holders and different nibs for inks. No, I am not going to start inking. That sounded a little personal. Anyways, no, I am not going to start working with pen and ink necessarily. I wanted these to use with watercolors. I want to show you some techniques that you can do with watercolor and these supplies. So I am really excited to be able to share that with you. And this one I just thought, I think it was, again, Steve Mitchell. Yeah, thank you. This one is because of you. He has one of these holders, or at least it looks just like these holders. Yeah, Takakawa. And that's soft. That's smooth. I don't think that would irritate my finger, which gives me problems sometimes when I'm doing art, but I like that. So yeah, at first glance, Steve, I have to say thanks for the recommendation, because that feels great in the hand. And it comes with a cover. So when you actually have a tip in here, this one, you can actually just pop the cover on and it'll protect the tip. So I could see me traveling with that one. I could see this one being my one of choice to take with me on the go. So exciting. I can't wait. Guys, there's so much content. I have so much content that I cannot wait to bring you. Oh, and all of these supplies. So we're gonna dive deep on some of these here and really get into some techniques. And again, I really want to hear you guys. Again, more ASMR. Sorry, folks. I really want to hear what you have to say. What are your thoughts? What are the favorite things you've seen? Which supplies can you not wait for me to try because you've been wanting to try it yourself or you've been wanting to see it? Please drop me a comment. Your comments will help me decide which ones to grab first and start making videos with. So, next one, Derwent charcoal pencils. Do we have to talk about the rabbit hole that is YouTube and the amount of supplies that your favorite creators recommend to you? Yeah. I get sucked down. I feel like Alice, because I am Alice in Artland. And, well, there would have been a great name for a channel, wouldn't it? Although I'm not Alice, I'm Angela. So I am Angela in Artland. And yes, I'm coining that phrase right now. Lisa Clow over at Lockery Fine Art. Thank you so much, because, yeah, it is because of you and your recent charcoal work that I said, you know what? I have not worked in charcoal since I was in middle school or high school. And I love graphite. I love that monochromatic. And then I saw some of her work and I had to. Derwent charcoal pencils. So I just grabbed a small set of 4. Because you know what? You have to start somewhere. And I wanted to start with these. Now, mind you, I'm saying start with these. No, folks, I have a drawer in my wooden pencil drawers. Actually, they're pastel drawers, but I keep my pencils in them. Some of my more precious pencils. And I have one drawer that's just full. It's just charcoal stuff. So, Derwent charcoal pencils. Yes, let's explore that medium as well. Jumping back to watercolor, because I missed this when I was showing you the watercolor. I got this guy, which is Daniel Smith Watercolor Ground. I got this because I have so many watercolor supplies, and I really wanted to do watercolor in a more non-traditional way. So I grabbed some watercolor ground. There are a few unique things that I want to put some of this on and then show you how watercolor works on this. So I can't wait to bring you that. Have you used the Daniel Smith watercolor ground? What have you used it on? What have you been successful creating watercolor paintings on with that? I am curious. I'm still not to my most excited products yet. Thank you so much for sticking with me. If you are still here, clearly you are liking this kind of content, and I absolutely appreciate if you take a moment and hit that thumbs up, because I don't know how many times I have to say it. YouTube does reward interaction, and by you taking one quick moment to click that button, it tells YouTube, hey, people do like this content, and YouTube will show it to more people. My slice tool. I have been wanting one of these for a while. You've probably seen it. They were all over Facebook for a while. I have seen quite a few artists use this. Basically, it looks like a craft knife or a little X-Acto knife, but it's ceramic. And you can use it to put highlights in your work, removing like upper layers of things like colored pencil. You can use it to put highlights by removing slight bits of the top layer of your watercolor paper. So if you're doing watercolor and you want to do some highlights, Paul Clark over at his YouTube channel, he does watercolor and he uses a, craft knife and does it for scraping out glistening water and things like that. So I really wanted to try the slice tool and give that a go. I have not used it yet, but I did want to be able to take that out so I could show you the blade inside. Elegant Writers. Oh yes, one is missing. It's already in my book because, okay, while I have been extremely patient and not touch these supplies because I wanted to show you, I am only human. I had to rip one of these out because I had to give this a go. And again, this is Angela in Artland. Paul Clark, thank you, because you are responsible for this one, my friend. And if you have not seen an elegant writer in action, if you like watercolor, I'm sure that you know about this, but if you don't, because, I didn't have a clue, you take one of these made by Speedball and do some line work, and then you put water to this and you watch it explode with color. It's amazing. I mean, it is very monochromatic, but there are colors that you can get and so many unique techniques that you can use. So again, I wanted to be able to share that with you. We're going to do something with that. That will be an upcoming video as well. The list just goes and goes and goes. Are you excited about the content that we could have coming here on this channel yet? I am. I cannot wait to bring you these supplies. Is there a supply that you thought of that I actually haven't pulled out of this box yet? Yeah, drop me a comment and let me know what that is, because, I'm always looking for the next great art supply or next thing to spend my money on. So this little guy, which is by Faber-Castell, and if you do not know what this is, yep, travel water cup. Love it. You take your brush. I can grab a brush handy, like all the brushes I already had. I don't know where I put them. Right? Hold your brush. Hold your water. And I had to take it a step further because, yes, this one is the one that I will throw in my bag to go with me when I travel. But if you all don't know, my absolute favorite water well, made by Paint Puck. This guy, I cannot sing the praises enough. I love Paint Puck. Not sponsored and not given to me. I purchased it with my own money. I absolutely love them. So, of course, I had to get one of these. I've shown you these before. Suctions right into the bottom there. Right? Now I fill this with water. And now I have a little scrubber that cleans my brushes. And this, my friends, is what's going to travel with me. So I'll still have my Paint Puck. I love them. I love them. They get your brushes so clean. Not a commercial for Paint Puck, but yes, I highly recommend. I will also include a link in the description below. Okay. So now we are getting near the bottom. And let me just share these. I got this. Are you ready? Yep. Full set of Prismacolor pencils. Which apparently, because it was on its side, they did not fall. They did not bang around, but they did shift. Okay. So the Prismacolor Premier. This is the 150 set. Soft core. Listen, let me just say this about Prismacolor. I have no opinion. I have zero opinion at this time. I have never used them. I have heard all about their reputation. I have heard of their reputation from those who love them, about how soft they are, how nicely they blend. And I have heard the opinion of those who absolutely do not like them because they are so soft and they do nothing but break. I have not used them yet. Therefore, I have zero opinion. I do not jump on the bandwagon or just take what everybody else has to say. So yeah, I have a set of Prismacolor here and I am really looking forward to trying them out. And you know what? Comparing them to the other pencils I have, because honestly, guys, this is amazing. I've already shown you the Mark Art. I've shown you the Brute Pruner square pencils. Here is the set of 150 Prismacolor pencils. You guys are still adding this all up in your heads, aren't you? Don't judge me. I told you this was over quite a few months, spread out over a bit of time. I also purchased some other pencils. And I'm not going to pull my drawers over. They are in my art drawers, but I will pop a picture in here so that you can see them. I had the set of Faber-Castell 24 Polychromos. I now have 120, the complete set of the Faber-Castell Polychromos. I found a great deal on them. I couldn't pass it up. It was I think I spent just over $1 per pencil. There was no way I couldn't order these, right? I couldn't afford not to. We like to joke about that here at home. Every time I say I got another art supply and I'm like, well, it was a wonderful sale. I couldn't afford not to. So you saw the Brute Pruner, which are supposed to be an oil-based pencil. You saw the Mark Art, which are supposed to be an oil-based pencil. And of course, I have what I consider the industry standard, the now complete set of the Faber-Castell Polychromos, which is the cream of the crop. Again, in my opinion, but I haven't tried all of these others, so you take that with a grain of salt. Now, on the other side of that coin, you saw that I have the Prismacolors softer pencil. Well, I got another pencil that, while it's not marketed as a wax-based pencil, it is softer. I do have the set of 20 of the Caran d'Ache Luminance So I will definitely be comparing those with the Prismacolor. But, my friends, I started with a set of 12, which I have looked everywhere for my tin, because I know I didn't throw it away, because, you know, I'm a hoarder. I got to hold on to everything. But I got these guys right here. I have the entire, finally, I've been waiting for months. If you follow me, if you're in some of the chats that I participate in, you know I have been waiting for my Derwent Lightfast pencils that have been on back order. Blick had them on sale. Again, thank you, Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, for bringing it to my attention. Derwent put them on sale. They were $2 a pencil. $2 a pencil. So I completed my collection. I now have all 100 Derwent Lightfast pencils. I am so excited to dive into these. And definitely, from what I hear from everybody else, they're feeling they're a softer pencil and the way that they blend. So you know what? I think that and the Luminance and the Prismacolor are going to make a great let's compare these products. And again, every single pencil is Lightfast. So I am super excited. I really hope that it is my hope that these are going to be my absolute favorite go-to. This is the pencil. I don't have to worry about light fastness. I can create whatever I want. And if all of a sudden it is my masterpiece, I can sell it too. So yeah, I am super excited about that. But no, folks, that is not the end of everything that I have gotten. I'm just going to take a moment to show you, because I mentioned it real quick. I have not shared these. I don't think I've shared these before. So this is, I got the 120 set. These are the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer. So if you don't know what the Albrecht Dürer is, again, this is watercolor pencil. And just like with the Derwent Metallics, which I also got in, but I have a different video for that, so I'm not going to show them to you again here. You know I have them if you've been watching. This is the Albrecht Dürer paintbrush, right? Derwent products. Same, Inktense has it as well. Oh, yeah, I did that too. I completed my entire collection of the Derwent Inktense pencils. So I have a full set of those now too. Guys, I am super excited. See the handles? Okay, so as I throw the papers everywhere, unlike the other one, these have nice foam underneath them, which I'm, I can't show you because I'm not going to dump my pencils everywhere. But they have a nice foam so that when this tray sets on that tray, they don't damage the pencils below. But again, these lift out. I love these things. I love these. I want to say Lindsay over on her channel did a thing once where she actually put the little holes in her things and made with elastics, made these for some of her tins that didn't have them. Great idea. But I love that these come that way because it's so easy to get them out. So yeah, I have the entire 120 set of the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. Another supply. We will see. And I'm going to put these back on my shelf because I don't need to knock them over and have them fall and get damaged. Another reason I did not pull my drawers out today that had my Lightfast or my Polychromos because, yeah, folks, I'm clumsy. I'm going to drop them and I would cry, and nobody needs to see me cry on YouTube. All right, here we go. I'm saving one of the things I am most excited about for last because this is a whole new medium for me and I cannot wait to dive in and explore this. Thank you, Jason Morgan, and thank you, Paul Clark, because it is because of the two of you that I even wanted to give this medium a go. And those of you who know who they are, you probably know what I'm about to show you. Let's just start with, I grabbed a couple Canson Me 10s pastel paper. I got the earth tones and the gray tones. So the earth tones, right? There's a cream. There's the colors in the earth tones. And then the gray tones. There's our colors in the gray tones. These are both 12 by 16. I also, there it is, found it. That's how that comes. This is in here. Oops, as I do it off camera. This comes in here. Paint puck not included. Little disclaimer. Because Jason Morgan highly recommends the Clairefontaine pastel mat. I ordered a small one because, guys, if you work in this medium, you know pastel mat by Clairefontaine is expensive. So yeah, this is 170 pound, 360 GSM, and it has white, sienna, brown, and anthracite. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. If not, have a chuckle on me. So the pastel mat by Clairefontaine, because he definitely says this is like game changer. So why would I not want to try it? And then of course the Me 10s pastel. We're going to compare them. It's coming. So why do I have these? Oh yes, because I had to go and get some pastel pencils. So the pastel pencils started it all. I was seeing Paul Clark use his pastel pencils to put highlights on his watercolors. Now, I'm new to exploring the watercolor medium, and I thought, brilliant. I've got to try that. Okay, crap, I don't have any pastel pencils. Not a problem. I'll just order some, right? Sure. Shoot. Which ones do I get? Because he never talks about which ones he prefers, because he just grabs one to throw a little highlight in a video. So, Angela in Artland, let's jump down the rabbit hole again. I knew Jason Morgan worked in pastel. Surely he has to have a video to tell us. You know what? He does. So after watching his video on pastel pencils and which ones he prefers and why, just move this out of the way for you guys. I don't have many more places to put things. There are supplies everywhere. He compared a bunch of pastel pencils. And taking in all the information and doing more research, I decided that I wanted to start with the Stabilo Carbothello pastel pencils. So here they are. And this is the full set of 60, which is the full set. Because, you know, I have full set syndrome, apparently. And there we go. These would be great if they had those little elastics. But there you are. There's the set of 60. And my tin, let me show you. I was a little disappointed. Look at that. It came in kind of warped and banged up, which damaged a couple of the tips. And I wasn't super thrilled, but don't you hate that? You get a supply and you're so excited, and then it comes in and like the box is damaged. That happened to me with the Pagos set. I actually had to send that set back and have them reship it to me. I refused the shipment because the box it came in was completely crushed. And let's face it, the box is part of the reason I ordered it for, because it's amazing. So anyhow, yeah. These are my pastel pencils, and that is really dinged up. Had I seen that, I probably would have sent this guy back too. But I don't know if it's too late to do that now or not. So it comes with a blending stump, an eraser. Now I do know that one thing that Jason did say was he absolutely did not recommend, I said eraser again. He absolutely did not recommend using this sharpener to sharpen your pastel pencils. He didn't like the way that it worked. Haven't tried it, so I can't tell you, but I can tell you what he said. And then again, we have a white kneaded eraser, which I think that's pretty interesting. I've only seen the gray ones, so cool. All right, so we have pastel pencils. Now, of course, you know, I just told you that I went to Jason Morgan to find out which pastel pencil should I get so that I can have a good quality pastel pencil to use on my watercolor paintings for highlights and the such. Because that's all I want them for, right? Just highlighting watercolors. Sure. Yeah, no. Then I started really watching Jason's videos, and hence I now have the Clairefontaine pastel mat and the Canson Me10's pastel paper. And no, I could not stop there. I already had soft tools, mind you. I already had soft tools to use for blending colored pencils with powder blender from Brush and Pencil. So I got more soft covers, and I had to order the set of pan pastels because, well, you know, all the videos that I found as, you know, Angela and Artland went down that YouTube rabbit hole. Pan pastels, they make doing your backgrounds faster. So yes, my friends, I had to get them. And of course, I got the palette that you put them in. So these come, oh, and no. The 20 color set, clearly that was not enough. Nope. There were colors that were not in the set that I felt, well, I just needed. So there they are. So I got 4 more. So what you end up doing is you take, and of course now, yes, I know, 20. I now have 24. I only have a palette for 20. Don't worry. I'm sure we will add more. So this is 2 pieces. It has the lid and the base, and you can unscrew the tops off of these, and you just set them in there, and then you have that palette to work from, which, okay, this is taking up most of my desk. I have no idea. I'll probably end up pulling colors and having a smaller palette that I pull my colors and use on my desk when I'm doing a project, because I couldn't see me using all 20 colors at once. Do you ever use all your colors at once? I don't know. Maybe. So those go in there. So I got that. So now we have the pan pastels, and I went with the color set, the painting, pure colors. So there is the colors that are in that set. So you had titanium white, Hansa yellow, dairy-lied yellow, yellow ochre, orange, permanent red, red iron oxide, magenta, violet, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, turquoise, phthalo green, permanent green, chromium oxide green, bright yellow green, burnt sienna, raw umber, black, and neutral gray. In addition to them, I got the colorless blender because, you know, do you need it? I don't know, but we're going to try it out. I also got Payne's Gray. I got Orange Shade, which I'm going to discuss that in a second. And then I got Burnt Sienna Tint. Why, you say? Okay. I just ordered these 2 because looking at, you know, say I wanted to do animals or landscapes, or I don't know yet. I don't know what's going to be my favorite thing to create with these. But in pastels, you have your main pigment colors. Pigments, main pigments. That's kind of redundant. Anyways, just say colors. So you have your main colors. Like here, this one says orange. In the vast variety of shades of pan pastels, or vast variety of hues, maybe that's a better word, of pan pastels, you have the color, which orange, and then you would have orange shade and orange tint. Well, orange shade is going to have more black mixed in. Orange tint, this is not orange tint, but orange tint, like burnt sienna, I mean, you see burnt sienna here, and then you see burnt sienna tint, is going to have more white mixed in. So do I have more black mixed in or more white mixed in? So to get me started, I thought the best choice would be if I had got the basic set here, the set of 20, which is pure, if you can read it, pure colors. So the pure colors. Orange. Well, because I have white and I have black, that means with orange, I could make orange shade. I could make orange tint. I got one of these just because I thought this would be a color that I would really use a lot. And I wanted to be able to show you guys the difference between tint and shade. So if I wanted to make orange shade, yes, I could buy the orange shade pan, or I could mix orange and white and get orange shade. So more of that should be in depth in a completely separate video. And if that's something you're interested in, drop me a comment and let me know, because clearly I bought them. We're going to watch them. We're going to see, we're going to use them. We're going to see more of them. And yeah. I have been, you just have no idea how bad I have been dying to use these. Like, oh, I would not let myself, which has been, these have been my biggest motivator to get my butt back in the studio and get back to work, because I cannot wait. I'm so excited about trying this new medium. So, I have pan pastels. I have pastel pencils. In my journey, again, Lindsay, I have got to stay off YouTube. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's not crazy. I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. And I'm very blessed that I'm able to purchase these supplies and be able to try them out. And so I'm very thankful for that. And I'm happy to bring them to you because it brings me joy. Lindsay suggested these soft pastels by Mungio. These are going to be like the stick format. Now, mind you, I don't generally like stuff that feels pasty or like chalky on my fingers. I am very tactile. Am I going to like these? I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. But I did want to also be able to compare the soft pastels, the pan pastels, and the pastel pencils, and bring you guys my honest opinion about them, what I like, which ones I like the most, which one I like the least, how you can use them, and when is the right time to use each. I had to get some, and these were a recommendation that Lindsay got me to just to get a small set to try. There are so many different varieties, so many different ones, some possibly much better quality than these, I am sure. However, just to get a feel for the medium, this was the set that I grabbed. It was a great price, and clearly you can see I spent way too much already. So I had to be a little conservative somewhere. Pastels. Well, do I need a fixative? I don't know. Some artists say absolutely yes, you don't want your pastel to fall off your paper. And other artists say absolutely not. Don't put them on there because they change the appearance of your work. And I saw Jason Morgan did a really comprehensive test with a bunch. So I was trying to choose a fixative. So again, let's dive into that. And thank you, Jason, for such a wonderful video that showed me and helped me gain the information. And that's what I like. I like videos where don't necessarily tell me your opinion, show me what it does. And that is my goal here. Yes, I can give you my opinion, but I want to be unbiased and show you what it does first. I just want to report the news, folks. I just want to report it. I don't want to tell you my opinion. Okay, sorry. Well, I won't get started. I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I decided to go with Spectrafix based on my research, and I have not tried it yet, of course, because you saw the supplies haven't been opened. But Spectrafix is the one that I chose. Now, I also have the final fixative from Brush and Pencil. So I'm going to be able to compare this one to that one and see which do I like better and why. And just show you a basic, here's the facts, ma'am. This is how it works. This is what it looks like, so that you can make your own educated decision and decide what's best for you. Because you know what? What's best for me might not necessarily be what you would consider best for you. And that is okay. Two more. I got this Paul Rubens watercolor and wet media block. I wanted to try the Paul Rubens paper. I had heard a few things about it, and I thought, you know what? We're going to give that a go. So I did get, and this is a block. So if you don't know the difference between a block and a pad, the block is glued on the sides, the edges. And so it won't warp. Well, it's not supposed to warp and buckle on you when you paint on it. And then once it's done and your painting dries, you can just slide a little palette knife or something in there, and you can take that piece off your block, and now you have your finished painting, and your block you can continue to create on. So I want to try one of those. So there is a Paul Rubens watercolor and wet media block, and this is 300 GSM cold press. It does not tell me. Have any of you used this? I am not seeing, I'm assuming not 100% cotton, because I would imagine if it was, they would absolutely be advertising that. So I'm going to have to assume it's a cellulose type paper, but yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think. So, and then I also got the Paul Rubens. This is a watercolor sketchbook or sketchbook watercolor paper. So I got this one too. Again, just wanted to try some of the Paul Rubens paper. Sorry guys, my lights are reflecting horribly off this because it is still wrapped in plastic because I haven't opened it yet. So there's that. Oh yeah. It is almost over, my friends. I grabbed some Daniel Smith masking fluid. I have other masking fluid. And if you don't know what masking fluid is used for, you can put this down on your watercolor paper or on your paper to preserve the whiteness of the paper. And then when you do other mediums over it, like watercolor, once the paper has dried after applying your watercolor, you can actually take and rub the masking fluid off, and you will have the pure white paper you started with below in those areas. Great for creating sparkle on water. Lots of fun things. So I have a few different types of masking, and I thought I would bring you a video all about masking. And honestly, I love Daniel Smith so much that I wanted to try their product. So that's why we have that. This is just a big eraser because, you know, can you really have enough erasers? So this is the Vanish 4-in-1 eraser, and if I can get this open, you know, I'm always constantly looking for erasers. And there you go. Just a big old eraser, guys. But what I did like when this came in, what I thought was pretty cool, was this little box. There's like a perforation here. So I could actually take that part off, leave it in, you know, some people, tactile. I am tactile to an extent, but this eraser, unlike that other eraser, the texture of it doesn't bother me. But if this did bother me, I could actually leave it in the box, take this perforation, take this end off, and hold the box and not have to actually touch the eraser. So, you know, maybe that's important to you. That is a Vanish 4-in-1 eraser. Again, I am going to link everything in the description below. So if you're looking for something, check it out there. This was a helix, angle, and circle maker. This guy, it turns, right? So we can rotate it because there's a bunch of different holes here. So I can do circles all of these sizes, or I could drop my pencil in here or any one of these and create circles of many different sizes. And then again, of course, I can do angles. You see all the numbers out here. So I could create many different angles, right? So yeah, just a tool. Just a tool that I wanted to add to my collection for drawing or sketching, things like that. When I want a nice circle, right now I kind of scramble all over the studio and I go, oh, well, what do I have? Well, gee, this will make a nice circle on the bottom. No, that's not the right size. And then I'll go grab something else. And, anyways, circles. So that's what I got that for. Now, again, by recommendation, I got the Texture Effects. These are stencils or templates. There are a few different ones in here, and thank you, Lisa, over at Lockery Fine Art. You recommended this. You can make some amazing backgrounds with the airbrush. And I do have an airbrush. I know you have not seen me use it yet. Future video to come. But I got this one. And you know what? Sometimes I thought, this is great. This is the size that Lisa has. This is the size that she recommended. And I thought, but you know what? No, I'm an overachiever. Why stop there? I don't know. Sometimes I like to create smaller pieces, maybe an 8x10, maybe a 5x7. And so, of course, I had to get the smaller size as well. These are all exactly the same. This is just the small version, and this is the large version. So I will link them below. And if you are wondering what is the difference in size, well, there you have it. And I don't think, oh, I do. Grab my T-square real quick. So this is the 9-inch mark. Okay, so you can see, you can't see, there we go, now you can see. So that is about just over 8.5 inches, that one. Then this one is only, just under 5 inches. So you can see the difference in those two there. This is Texture FX, a product by Art Tool, and they're can you see it on that one? So 3 different ones. And there we go. This may be a little bit bigger. So this one's called Organic, this one's called Master, and this one's called Cosmic. If you have not seen how they're used, Lisa has many videos on her channel. I will be making videos with these. You can take this with your airbrush, hold it up to your background, and spray through it, and instantly get a galaxy, get stars. Yeah, they're pretty cool, and they make your work a lot faster. So I had to get those to try those. I needed them, right? I needed them. How many times do we feel like that? I just need this in my life. And last but not least, here we go. I think this guy needs a name. So if you have watched all the way to the end, help me name my studio model. So this is a male, 12-inch male mannequin. And you know what? Why the heck do I need a wooden mannequin? Well, folks, sometimes when you're drawing and you want to do a person, I can't speak, this has been a long video. If you want to do a person, then you're going to want to see like maybe different gesture poses, right? Wow, they taped this thing right the heck up. So again, this was the Blick. This one I got from Blick. And I wanted him to kind of, oh, he's dented right there, but that's all right. I wanted to have him be able to be in my studio. And you can pose them. Fix my head. There we go, buddy. Your body's a little crooked. See, you can manipulate them in all sorts of ways. There, now your feet are straight. So, what should I name my little studio mannequin? Drop me a comment below and I'm going to know that you took the time to watch all the way through this video and hang out with me. And you know what? I appreciate you. So help me name my little studio mannequin here. Give me some suggestions. I'm going to pick my favorite. So I'm going to set him there. Look at that. He's quite tall. He's 12 inches. He's just like, boom, right to the camera. So guys, I think there's probably supplies that I have missed. And if there are, yeah, I will do a separate video on them, because we have spent it took me 2 hours to record this. Holy cow. Hopefully I can edit that down and make that a bit shorter for you. So what was your favorite supply? Which supply are you most looking forward to me grabbing and using first and creating a video on? Do you want a comparison video? Do you want, just show me some artwork? Just review the product and show me some artwork. I do listen. I have been listening. I have been definitely watching the analytics on my channel. I did not want to be an unboxing channel, but here we have it. And you know what? Those are the videos so far that have seemed to perform the best, although those were unboxing subscription art boxes, which, by the way, I have got. I brought you the which art subscription box is best for me, or best for you. I brought you 6 months of Smart Art. I now have 6 months of Art Snacks. I have 6 months of Paleteful Packs. I added a new box. Not going to spoil it. You'll have to stay tuned to see. That video's coming. I added a new box that I'm getting to the collection. And what I usually do is I will get boxes in. I will get about 6 months of them or so, and then I will cancel the box and start getting a different box, so that I can keep bringing you this, like, hey, here's what you can actually, get. I think in 6 months you can get kind of a good idea of what these boxes have in store for you. So, and it'll help you make a decision as to, hey, maybe this is the right box for you, or maybe a different box is the right box for you, because only you know which is best. So I'm excited. I have those 2 boxes to bring you soon, and then, yeah, we're going to be looking at a lot of products. So drop me a comment. Let me know what is your favorite. And if you missed that which art subscription box is right for you, I'm going to pop that right here, and you can take a look. Again, my apologies. I know this was a long video, and if you are still here, I greatly value our time together. I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to drop me a comment and let me know which supply you want to see first. Until next time, my friends, keep creating.